This is your host, Mitchell J. Rabin, and I'm very glad you're joining us again today. Today we're going to have another very interesting show. We have invited back the distinguished physicist, quantum physicist these days, Amit Goswami, who is the author of numerous books, but today the focus will be this last book of his, How Quantum Activism Can Save Civilization. And God knows it needs to be saved and quickly. Which, by the way, reminds me of the book that I'm writing called Creating a Better World Quickly. And I cannot get it done fast enough for the same obvious reasons, you know.
Great. I'm glad we are in sync, Mitchell.
Indeed, we are, Amit. We noticed that last time. We had Amit, for those of you who watch with any regularity, on the show exactly a year ago. And we're going to pick up on that thread. So stay tuned for discussing two of really my favorite subjects. One, quantum physics and its interface with our understanding of the larger cosmological picture, i.e. God, and activism, i.e. how do we take the gift of our birth, of our human existence, and channel it in a way so that it is in service to the larger good and the larger whole. And these are subjects that Amit discusses in this book rather eloquently, and we'll have a chance to kind of go over that in today's show. So, I'm so glad to have you.
Me too.
Namaste, as we say in Chinese.
Namaste.
Very good. So, you make some wonderful quantum leaps, as it were, in this book, Amit, about the nature of reality, the way we perceive it, the way we think about it, changing worldviews, and how to use some of the greatest breakthroughs in our scientific understanding to grok, if you will, that there really is this notion of a higher intelligence.
Yes, not only grok, but to use it in such a way that our world becomes better.
Exactly. A practical use of God, you could say, which I adore. So first of all, let's start at the beginning, if you will. Now, I don't mean in the beginning was the word. I mean, how is it that quantum physics actually explains and proves what we refer to as the existence of God?
Actually, you know, when I first started it, there's all these philosophy books which says that God is ineffable, cannot be taught in science, it's not scientific idea.
Utterly mystical and mysterious.
Exactly. And mystics have added to it too. I mean, they have this sort of same notion, better keep it separate, it's not a scientific idea, scientists keep away, you know. Even today, Ken Wilber, transpersonal psychologist, certainly does not like the materialist worldview against scientific materialism.
Yes.
But when it comes to science of God, his position is that no science for God. You can't do it. But actually,
keep them separate.
Keep them separate.
The domain separate.
But actually the question is very scientific, because a God which doesn't have causal power is a meaningless God. You know, that's Einstein's God, this benign caretaker of the garden. It's a meaningless God because God has no role to play, except if you believe in very childish kind of God started the world and then went away and retired.
An anthropocentric
very anthropocentric. Very anthropocentric.
Such a serious egocentric problem.
So then it's a very simple question. Is there any other causal source in the world than material interactions? Material interactions are upward causation because elementary particles produce everything else. And there are
atoms
interactions.
to molecules to cells to organs to tissues,
exactly.
etc.
So cause goes upwards.
Organ. Right.
So we just
as Ken Wilber talks about when he refers to his holons, of course, the work of Kessler.
But then you just ask the question: is there downward causation? Is there any evidence or also any theory that requires downward causation? And lo and behold, physics itself, at the base root, it becomes quantum physics. It's not Newtonian physics anymore. It's quantum physics. And what does quantum physics tell us? It tells us that objects are possibilities. So indeed, a causal power is needed to make possibilities into actualities, because material interactions just cannot do it. It's a mathematically proven fact.